How often do you see our less fortunate friends in the street, waiting for the traffic light to go red from green for them to be able to knock at the car windows to beg for a spare of coins to buy some food to eat? How often do you pass by a mother who reaches out her hand hoping to be given money to buy her child some food, disregarding her own hunger? How often did you want to just give your food to that kid who awaits for the customers to be done eating just so that he can eat what can still be eaten from the leftovers? We're certain that at some point you were struck by their situation. There was a moment when you wanted to reach out and help more than the coins you gave, but then you were too shy to do it. More so, you had wonderful ideas of how you wanted to help, but you were always concerned about the money to begin with and how you can do it.
Believe it, you can.
When Filipinos hear that word, the thought that comes directly into their minds is
Magkaon og bunga.
Kumain.
Eating together.
but for a specific community in the city of Iligan, it's more than just that.
It's a charity.
Every Friday inside the area of the Cathedral Church, the less fortunate children and families would come for this gathering that has been going strong for more than 7 years now.
But before that, let us go back and meet the person who founded and ignited this charity.
Hi, my name is Anthony, and I coincidentally founded a charity that brings people together.
Every Friday inside the area of the Cathedral Church, the less fortunate children and families would come for this gathering that has been going strong for more than 7 years now. It all started with a conversation between Kuya Anthony and 3 less fortunate persons who eventually became good friends. He brought them to a simple restaurant and ate together. That's how Salo Salo Charitable began, a practice of eating together that persists until today. The gathering or Salo Salo starts by 9 a.m. and ends at 12 noon. By 9 a.m., Kuya Anthony and the volunteers help hand in hand for the preparation of the food. Our less fortunate friends also help in arranging the tables and aligning the benches. Whenever there are volunteers, programs like teaching, playing games together, and storytelling are facilitated. The following videos are showing how the volunteers connect with the kids and how the kids are doing the same. Prior to eating, everyone is taught to wash their hands to keep them clean before the Salo Salo. When the food is ready to be served, one of the volunteers or the less fortunate kids lead the prayer before eating. After the prayer, the Salo Salo begins and everyone is asked to patiently wait as they are each given their meals. After the gathering, some kids initiate and help each other in cleaning up. There are those who assign themselves in sweeping, and there are those who are responsible in removing the leftovers from the plates so that the other children can wash the plates after.
Salo Salo is not a feeding program.
I name it Salo Salo because that's the concept. The concept speaks by the name itself. It's like a gathering of friends, family, spending some quality time together. Every time people ask me if this is a feeding program, I always answer, no, it's just a simple Salo Salo. Good friends eating together while having a nice conversation. That's it. It may be hard to believe, but that's the truth. It was never a feeding program to begin with.
Salo Salo Charitable aims to emphasize that comfort and happiness may not always be found solely in the people you already know, and that family is not tested only by blood, but also by bond. It's not always sheltered, but family becomes the shelter. What sails this gathering forward is their undying hope that
through this gathering we can all be united, becoming good buddies, regardless your status in life. I guess watching good people doing good things always inspires me to do the same thing. But I believe Jesus Christ is behind all of these things. His teachings makes your heart love just the way he loves.
7 years ago, when Kuya Anthony started this gathering, he was just a mere student. The love of helping others and being a family to others always kept him motivated. Before, he almost gave up his studies just to provide for this cause, from allowances to work just to sustain the charity. But gradually, as different people started to notice, random Samaritans came and willingly support the charity up until today. They also do fundraising by selling out t-shirts, ballers, and mugs for a cause to keep them funded. These are some of the many volunteers of Salo Salo Charitable sharing about their experiences.
Owner of Lalaji Cafe. I'm actually one of the volunteers before of Salo Salo Charitable Project by Ricky Pang. I did volunteer it's because it's a wonderful experience. It's a very, very, very rewarding experience. And actually my work whenever I volunteer there is, my task actually is not just to help prepare the food, but actually to do a little bit of teaching with these kids, these bajaus. It's because I myself is a special education teacher by profession, and it's like going back to what I used to before when I was in college and when I was in my first job. And I would like to encourage everyone to do and help volunteer the Salo Salo Charitable Project every Friday, 10 o'clock in the morning until 9 or 10 in the morning until 12 noon. So I hope to see you guys there soon. Thank you.
Kapitan Orbe. And I am a college student. Tapos, willing din mo, utabang for the Salo Salo program. Which is, nahitabo na for some reason, every Friday ni siya ni Kuya, under ni Kuya Ray at pa. So, about sa Salo Salo program, am I right? Salo Salo program. So, kani siya, it's a way for us to reach out that community, whereas kina-consider sa ato ang social community as the lower class, o dili na nato ma-reach out itungod sa ilang social status. Yes. So, muna kani, bali, magsalo-salo ka kay it is part of our Filipino culture na sa isa ka lamisa dapat kompleto sila. So, dili na mawala ngayon nga itong itabo. So, ang karon kani siya, kani nga buhat sa simbahan or kani nga sa program, it is also a considering para ma-discipline and also mag-gather na ito nga kato sila, tapos magtaga na ito sila of learnings at the same time teaching about kung sa baron, like kung sa importante ang life, proper etiquette, or about the church, or even about God. So, murag, as for me, as a volunteer, kung mahitabo man gani, it would be as such fulfilling para sa kuha kay, well, kita ni Agi magita kalisod, right? So, naamang kita down stories, pero mas down man gid sila. So, we have to reach them out kay para at least matabangan nato sila. Even just a little. Dili man kinahanglan nga bongga gid ang pagtabang. Basta gikan sa kasing-kasing okay na.
Hi everyone, I'm Celeste Colin Bimejos. I'm a volunteer from Iligan City, Iligan Medical Center College, and naami diri karon sa St. Michael's Cathedral kay na-gather me for an event for to ang brothers and sisters that is in event, which is after the Japon tayo mga malasakit sa atong kapwa, even sa atong mga brothers and sisters in the street. Sa ako alam, we have our purpose pod nga to encourage everyone nga sa small amount or even sa gamay nga tabang sa ato ang kuan kay na Japon tayo may pakita nga murag unity nga as one Japon ta diri sa Iligan City. So ayan guys, ay kumatingan same mini Colin classmate ni sa kuan sa purpose same subject. And then sa kaning mga activity na nakita po na ako nga ang pagdadamayan sa mga Filipino. It is because kanang sa ato mga Filipino kay dili mawala ang kanang oneness bitaw dayon naay kana unity sa ato tanan in terms of helping each other. And then muna ay murag one of the Filipino characteristics nga atong mapahinambog sa uban.
We truly agree with the statements of our fellow volunteers that this salo-salo or gathering is an evidence of practicing the Filipino values like pagdadamayan, which means being there for one another, and malasakit sa kapwa, which means compassion.
The truth is, we were all once strangers to one another. So why should there be any difference in treating other people?
It may be sad to question, but is humanity bounded by differences?
How can someone claim so much about caring for others, but ends up doing the opposite?
When we asked Kuya Anthony about where and from whom he inherited those values, he said,
I believe it's innate. We all have the qualities of a loving heart like Jesus, especially towards the needy. It's just a matter of discovering, to be fearless and put into practice.
Indeed, what we have in common is our concern for others, and may we let this bridge us together and liberate us from the walls of differences and standards. May these differences encourage us to appreciate more, and let these standards be silenced by our acceptance and understanding. Let us not choose to isolate ourselves within the confines of standards and be separated by these social barriers.
Why do you think that Salo-Salo Charita will persevere?
I believe God loves this gathering so much, He doesn't want this to stop. He always finds a way to make this salo possible every Fridays for the last 7 years.
Undeniable that compassion is not only a Filipino value, but something that we all possess. Having compassion doesn't equate to having lots of money. Salo-Salo Charitable is one of the many that awaken us that we really don't need to wait until we are financially stable in order to reach out. Whatever you do, as long as you put your heart and sincerity in it, no amount can truly overprice it.
Join us as we build a family from different walks of life.